Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Right, so inshallah today we will continue our lecture, a very short one, regarding bivariant analysis. Okay, in the previous lecture we have done univariate analysis. Okay, so univariate analysis is talking about only one variable. So when we look at bivariant analysis, we are looking at two variables. Okay, two variables. All right. So let's just go through an overall. What are we going to cover today? Okay. So today we are going to look at obviously what is bivariate analysis. Okay. So what are we trying to look for? What are we trying to achieve? Okay. What are we looking at binary? Why are we looking? What are we looking for in a bivariant analysis? And continue, and then we are also looking at what questions or how do we get our data how do we process bivariate analysis. Okay, and then we are going to look at certain terms that is linked to bivariate analysis, reverse coded items, and then we are also going to understand, this is the most important part, how do you want to do bivariate analysis. Okay, in bivariate analysis our main objective is to look for correlation. So what is correlation? We are going to explain that in the next few slides, and we are also going to determine coefficient. Okay, when we talk about bivariate analysis, we are not running away from correlation and coefficient. Okay, that is the most important thing. Let us just jump to this slide first, slide number 8, before we start back at slide number 4. Okay, in this slide, it gives you the overall picture of bivariate analysis. Okay, so bivariate analysis, our main objective is to measure the correlation. What is correlation? We will cover that shortly. Okay, and these are the coefficient. Coefficient means the techniques used or the techniques that can be used to measure correlation. If our scale soalan kita dalam bentuk interval or ratio, then we are suggested to use Pearson correlation. If our questions are ordinal, then Spearman rank or Kendall's rank. If our scales are nominal, then pi coefficient, contingency coefficient. Okay, so these are the techniques that would allow you to do correlation when you are talking about bivariate analysis. And all of these techniques, all of these coefficient here will give you the same value, but in different types, in different format. Okay, in different format. But all of them will give you correlation. All of them will give you correlation, but the only difference is you're doing different techniques. So if you have an interval or ratio scale items, you cannot use Spearman. You have to use Pearson. If you are having nominal, you cannot use Pearson. Okay, even though you're finding the same thing, which is correlation, but you are asked to, but in statistics, you have to use a different method, okay, in order to get that correlation. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the second slide. So what is bivariate analysis? What are we looking at? Bivariant data is when you are studying two variables. You might study a group of diabetic patients to find their weight. Okay, two variables. Okay, so you are studying two groups of patients, two groups of variable. Satu is diabetic, and you want to find out their weight, so the dual variable. If you are studying a group of university students to find out their average MUET scores and their age, dual variable, MUET score and age. So our study dalam example number 2 is to find out their average MUET score and their age. Bivariate analysis refers to the analysis of two variables to determine the relationship between them. So you want to find out what is the relationship between average MUET score and age. So this relationship is what we say as correlation. We want to find out what is the relationship between diabetic patient and their weight. Adakah kita kata, are we going to say that the higher diabetic you are, the higher your weight will be, or the higher your the higher your MUET scores will also give you higher age? Okay, so we want to find out. So that is the relationship that we want to look for in what we say as the bivariate analysis. Bivariate analysis is one of the simplest form of quantitative analysis. It often involves analysis of two variables, often denoted as X and Y, for the purpose of determining the empirical relationship between them. So you ada dua variable, diabetic dengan apa tadi, weight, MUET score dengan age. So these are two variables. So satu X, satu Y. So what is the relationship between them? And bivariate analysis can be helpful in testing simple hypothesis. Okay, kalau you nak test simple hypothesis, boleh buat dalam bivariate analysis. What are we looking for in a bivariate analysis? If it is it a positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation? Maksud correlation itu bermaksud ada relationship. That means there is something going on. Ada something between losing weight and exercising. Macam saya selalu pakai lah. Losing weight and exercising. Ada relationship. But we want to find out, is it a positive relationship atau a negative relationship? A negative relationship bermaksud, that means mungkin kita kata there is a reverse effect. Kita kata exercises equals to losing weight. Tetapi hasil daripada our analysis, we find out that is the opposite. Okay, is the opposite. That means losing weight is not affected by exercise. Okay, that it could be the opposite. It could be the opposite. Or they could be nothing. Memang tak ada relationship langsung. Okay, there could be no relationship. Point number 2, is it a strong relationship or weak relationship? So daripada nilai ini, we want to find out, is it a strong, betul tak exercise ni, you can lose a lot of weight. So we want to find, is it a strong ke, is it a weak? Mungkin puasa can also lose weight. Tapi mungkin puasa itu is a weak relationship. Or maybe eating right or exercising, there is a relationship, but it's a weak relationship. So we want to find this out. Correlation means association. More precisely, it is a measure of the extent to which two variables are related. So the one is explained today. How are these two variables associated? So we want to find this out. Therefore, when one variable increases as the other variable increases, or one variable decreases while the other also decreases. Lagi banyak you exercise, lagi banyak you lose weight. Satu naik, satu lagi akan naik. Ataupun terbalik, satu turun, satu lagi turun. It's negative. Ataupun tak ada langsung. Okay? A positive relationship, kita kata naik, naik. That is positive. Negative, turun, turun. That's negative. Okay? No relationship, tak ada apa lah. It means rupanya tak ada kaitan langsung. Okay, tak ada kaitan langsung. Let's say jualan ice cream, the sales of ice cream and the weather. The sales of ice cream and the weather. So mungkin we can say when the weather is high, lagi panas, sales of ice cream go up. If there is no relationship, meaning if the weather goes up, the sale of ice cream maintains. Sama je. So there's no. Or if there's a negative relationship, turun-turun. Okay, it could be that way. Right? So this is what we are looking for in a correlation. Okay, so what are we looking for? The big question in bivariate analysis ialah Does a relationship between two variables exist? Is there? Yes or no? Kita nak tahu ni. We want to find out whether exercise and losing weight, there is a relationship. Does it exist? To what extent a change in value in one variable associated with the change in a value of another? That means if there is a change in variable number one, would it affect the change in variable number two? So we want to find this out. To answer this question, you must pick the correct measuring techniques. Ini yang paling penting ni. You must pick the correct measuring technique. So, kalau salah pilih teknik, then you don't get the right answer. Pearson correlation, yang lain-lain tu, those are techniques. Okay. Yes, you have so many other techniques, but you must pick the right technique for Pearson. So for correlation, based on your categorical or ordinal or interval variable, the type of question lah. The number of respondent categories and whether you expect a relationship in a significant direction. Is it a positive or you expect it to be a negative relationship? Okay, a negative. So we want to find out. Okay, so the next question is, what is the strength of the relationship? What is the coefficient? The coefficient means how strong is the relationship. So ada value di situ. Second question is, what is the direction? Is it a negative or is it a positive or is it no? Okay, and you also can reverse code if necessary so that your coding matches your hypothesis. Okay, reverse code. Tahu maksud reverse code items tak? Ingat tak bila kita buat soalan untuk kenaikan pangkat untuk kawan-kawan kita, soalan CNC tu, kan ada satu dua soalan dalam CNC tu yang diterbalikkan.
Yes, betul.
So those are reverse coded items. So reverse coded items ini dia akan tanya terbalik. So jawapan pun kena terbalik, tapi bila you analyze, you terbalikkan. Salah satu
Doktor.
sebab, yup.
Okay, to continue. I have a question actually. Okay, basically kalau reverse code punya question, how many kita nak kena letak kat dalam kita punya question kalau saya kata buat survey?
I'll come to that next slide ni ada reverse coded and then saya jawab terus.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alright, so reverse coded is you put there for one or two. For the main reason is you nak tangkap orang yang jawab yes, no, yang buat pattern tu. So kalau you dapat sepatutnya jawapan, let's say jawapan dia sepatutnya very good, tapi orang tu you bagi reverse coded, dia pun jawab very good juga. So you know that data tu, that answer from that person is invalid sebab dia jenis yang jawab yes. Dia tak baca soalan pun. Okay, yes, dia ikut pattern dah. Yes, no, yes, no, macam tu. Okay, so reverse items are very important when you do a survey. Right. Third question. What is the statistical significance of a relationship calculated from a sample? Okay, so we want to find out what is the significant, what is the probability, how significant is the number. That means it might have a positive relationship, but it's not significant. Exercise does cause losing weight, tapi it's not significant. What does it mean by not significant? Maksud dia, kalau tak ada pun tak apa. Ataupun exercise tu betul satu variable yang very weak on losing weight. Okay, on losing weight. So it's a very weak. The other relationship is a positive relationship, but we say it's a weak positive relationship. Okay, so these are reverse coded items. If other people don't accept me, I don't let it bother me. So these are reverse coded. So these items are jawapan ini dalam bentuk it's a scale between 1 to 5. Okay, contoh soalan, contoh nombor 2. I try hard not to do things that will make other people avoid or reject me. Okay, so katakanlah jawapan dia is 5 lah, extremely. Soalan nombor 1. Soalan nombor 3. I seldom worry about whether people care about me. Okay, so if your answer is 5, so now you know this person dia tak baca soalan, dia main jawab je soalan. Okay, so these are examples of reverse coded items. So the question now is, how many reverse coded items that you need dalam satu survey? Well, it depends. Ada study yang mengatakan bahawa if you have 7 variables, the number of variables dalam setiap variable itu, you need to have at least 2 reverse coded items. Let's say kita ada exercising, fasting, and eating well. Dalam exercising, we have 5 questions, eating 5 questions, and puasa 5 questions. Okay, so we have 15 questions in total. So dalam exercising, you letak 2 reverse. Dalam food, you letak 2 reverse. Dalam fasting, you letak 2 reverse. Cukup lah. Okay, so reverse item is to make sure that the respondent does not simply just answer the question. That is the main idea of reverse coded items. Ada cara lain, tapi kali ini saya ajar reverse coded dahulu. Okay, so this is where it's important. So, if your scale is interval, then you use this method. Example of question: is the shelf life of cheese related to the temperature during packing? Shelf life ni bila cakap pasal butter ke cheese ke, shelf life ni ialah how long can the cheese or butter be on the shelf. Okay, be on the shelf. That means it's not on the fridge, but it's on the shelf. Kalau kat Maidin tu dekat tempat yang sejuk tu lah. Tapi that is not a fridge. Dia cuma kat luar je kan. So how long is that? So dia nak tahu during packing ni, is there a relationship between that and the temperature during packing? So if the questions are all dalam bentuk interval or ratio, maka we are suggested to use Pearson technique. If our questions are all ordinal, then Spearman. Is the preference related to convenience of location? These are types of questions lah. Or nominal, if our skills are nominal. Okay, what are these types? Nominal means ada value A atau B. Gender, that is a nominal because ada 2 sahaja. Okay. Academic, non-academic. Executive, non-executive. Ada 2 sahaja. Okay. Ordinal scale, in the term ordinal scale ni dalam bentuk how satisfied are you? Contohnya macam, are you very satisfied, less satisfied, no comment? So these are ordinal scales. Interval scale ni maksud dia macam from a scale of 1 to 10, what is your preference? What is your food preference? In the term of 1 to 10, what is your tolerance level towards pain? So dia ada scale dekat situ. Okay, in a rate your experience during your last holiday in Langkawi. 1 is the worst, 10 is the best. Rate the speakers, kalau you pergi ILD pun dia akan tanya kan, penceramah. Rate 1 to 10, 1 tak bagus, 10 bagus. So apa yang kita buat? 8, 9. Penceramah bagus tak bagus? 8, 9, 8, 9 kan? Ratio, how many hamburgers can you eat a day? Anggaran dalam 1 ke 2 ke. Alright, so those are the things. Alright, so those are ratios. How many times a day do you drink coffee? 1 to 3, 1 to ataupun 2 to 4. Okay, so the answer the respondent gives is not a fixed answer. It could be 2, 3, 4, but it's within that. Sometimes he drinks 2 cups of coffee per day. Sometimes he goes for 4 cups. Sometimes maybe he only takes 1 cup or maybe 3 cups. So it's within a scale. So these are examples of scale measurement skills. Okay, next we go into correlation. Okay, measures the strength of a linear relationship between 2 variables. Kenapa saya pakai perkataan linear? Because dalam bivariant analysis, we are looking at X and Y. Okay, X and Y. So X can be the independent or dependent variable. So when we say a linear relationship, dalam matematik linear itu bermaksud satu garis lurus. So we want to see the relationship between two variables. Okay. Again, sebelum kita masuk ini, look at this box here. Just because you have a high R2 relationship, correlation, does not mean that X causes Y. Does not mean. There could be a lurking variable that actually is the cause. Apakah, what does it mean by here? Siapa boleh jawab soalan ni? Siapa boleh nak try jawab soalan ni? Just because you have a high R value does not mean that X causes Y. What does that mean?
Negatif ke doktor?
Dia macam ni. Exercise, losing weight.
Okay.
So exercise, losing weight. So lepas kita buat kajian, kita dapati bahawa it's a positive R. Okay, R. Bila kita dapat positive R, maksud dia 1 lah. 1 ya. 1 is a positive R lah. But dalam statistik, there is not the final answer. Mungkin ada variable lain yang effect exercise tu that causes losing weight tu naik. Yang kita tak kaji. That is why in statistics, that is not the final lagi. Okay, belum lagi final. Sebab mungkin ada benda lain lagi kat situ. Exercise, ya betul. Exercise causes losing weight. Betul. Tetapi that could not be the cause. Mungkin ada variable lain yang menyebabkan exercise ni cause losing weight. Mungkin
diet kot.
Diet, mungkin frequency of the exercise. Mungkin lagi banyak you exercise, ada frequent rate dia. Ataupun macam Azira cakap, ada diet kat situ yang kita tak kaji. Yang kita tak tahu pun. So that is called the lurking variable yang we don't know. It could be by something else. It could be a variable yang kita tak tahu. Okay. For example, shopping online. Okay, shopping online. Kenapa kita shop online? Okay, sebab kita nak barang semua itulah. Okay, it could be based on that. Tapi it could be beyond that. It could be peer pressure. It could be peer pressure. Tengok lori JNT asyik datang majiranya, tak datang aku. Oh, peer pressure. It could be because the sale is so good. We don't need the item, tapi it's so good that we buy. Walaupun kita tak perlukan lah. Okay, it could be that. But we don't know. But so, that's why dia kata, walaupun X betul causes Y, tapi that is not, that it could not be the case. That means it could be something more. Yes, question.
Doktor, kalau katakanlah macam tu, maksudnya dia ada another variables yang effect. So kat sini kita dalam thesis kita kena letak limitation ke? Kita kena statekan ke doktor?
Correct. Yes, you must state. Betul. It could be, yeah, you must state the unseen, because mungkin hari ni Anas cakap exercise, apalagi exercise makan dengan puasa. Tapi tahun depan mungkin ada orang kata something else, vitamin ke, you know, something else yang maksud dia vitamin campur exercise losing weight. Macam tu mungkin. Tak apa orang kata. So that is your limitation, and you have to suggest that is your limitation, and it could be related to something else. It could, maksud dia losing weight itu mungkin terjadi, ada lagi variable yang you tak kaji. Mungkin ada. Ataupun let's say you awak kaji orang gila. Okay. So hasil daripada kajian awak, orang ini boleh gila macam-macam. Mungkin depression, mungkin muflis, macam-macam. So there's so many possibilities of a person getting depression. COVID-19 pun salah satu lah. Okay. So it could be the cause, betul, but that is not the major cause. Okay. That could not be the major cause. So it's something else. Something else tu mungkin yang menyebabkan dia menyebabkan dia menyebabkan dia dapat depression. Okay. Alright. So a positive. So dalam correlation we are looking at R. So any technique that you use, teknik ni, semua teknik-teknik ni akan keluarkan value R. Semuanya akan keluarkan R. R tu bermaksud correlation. So even if you use Pearson, R. Spearman, R. Candles, R. R tu ialah correlation. Okay. So negative one weak relationship. Okay. Sorry, not weak. Negative relationship, and positive is one lah. Okay. So the closer you get to, the closer you go to zero, the weaker the correlation. That means 0.0000. That means it's a very weak relationship. Walaupun dia positif, tetapi is a very weak relationship. Okay? Very weak relationship. Okay. Macam saya dengan weight, I think food, saya memang positif lah. High intake food, high weight. So there is a positive. Untuk saya, food and weight is a correlation. Okay. That means memang saya makan and memang saya naik berat badan. Okay. So mungkin orang lain berbeza. Okay. Alright. Next we go on into correlation juga. Okay. So tajuk kita ialah minutes late to work. Okay. So this is our topic. Okay. So when we say a positive relationship, we mean you come to work and rain. So that is a direct cause. Betul lah. Direct. Sebab you datang lambat, sebab hujan. So there is a positive. Okay. Negative is late to work and poor relationship with your boss. Ada dua lagi. Maksud dia late to work, dah lah you late to work, poor with the boss and hujan. That is negative kat situ. Pada poor relationship. Okay. Third variable, yang ni yang tadi kata third variable tu. Late to work and rain and the number of children at home. Okay. Dah lah hujan, late to work, anak ramai, memang sah lah. Okay. So this is the third variable yang Anas cakap tadi. Okay. There's something else yang kita tak kaji. Dah lah hari ni hujan, sah saya pergi kerja lambat, anak saya ramai, tak baru nak siapkan pergi sekolah, bla bla bla. So that is something you don't know. Okay. That is the third. Or unexpectedly late. This is totally unexpected lah. You late to work and hide. Ini mungkin satu benda yang di luar jangkaan you. Hide ni itu yang saya tak tahu apa nak buat, saya letak hide. Takkanlah ada kaitan dengan ketinggian dengan datang lambat kan. So it's just unexpected. It could be something else lah. It could be something. Mungkin kita boleh letak unexpected accident. Okay. That is also part of the why you come late to work. This is unexpected. Okay. Okay. Next we look at level of association. Example, jawapan dia ialah R sama dengan negatif 0.62. So soalan kita, tajuk kita ialah we want to look at the relationship between X and Y, di mana X ialah umur and Y ialah dia punya blood pressure. Okay. So hasil daripada our ini saya buat pakai Spearman. When I did my Spearman, I got the R correlation as negative 0.62. What it means is a moderate negative relationship between X and Y. Kenapa dia negatif? Sebab jawapan dia memang negatif. Kenapa saya katakan moderate? Yang ini dia ada high, moderate and weak. When is it high? When is it low first? When is it low? When it's below 0.5. When is it moderate? Atas pada 0.5, 0.51, 0.6, 0.7. This is moderate. When is it high? 0.8 to 1. This is high. Tetapi kenapa saya tak tulis dalam slide ini? Whether correlation is high, moderate or low bergantung kepada research awak. Sebab dia ada different types of research. Ada kalau research itu baru, kalau it's a new field, then the relationship is different. Okay, then the relationship is different. Okay, then whether it's moderate ke, high ke, low ke, that is different. Okay, so when you want to write down whether it's a moderate ke, high ke, low ke, you have to refer to the literature. Tengok apakah value R kat situ. What does the literature say about building survey punya correlation? Sebab dalam information system memang lain, dia punya R reading tu berbeza. Dalam information system 0.6 is considered high already. Dalam research lain mungkin 0.6 dah moderate. Okay, so it's different. Okay, so kita stop di moderate ni, jangan tengok yang R square lagi. Kita lompat pada next slide dulu and then kita datang balik. Saya silap. Okay, so what is R square pula? R kuasa 2 ni. R kuasa 2 is the coefficient of determination measures of the percentage of variation in X is explained or determined by variation of X. So bila kita keluar R kuasa 2, we want to see berapa peratus, okay, berapa peratus yang di-explain oleh X towards Y. So dalam example ini pula, saya tukar R kuasa 2 equals to 0.89. Apakah maksud dia? It means that 89% of the variation in Y can be explained by the relationship between X and Y. Okay, 89% of the variation in Y can be explained by the relationship between X and Y. Maksudnya perubahan sebanyak 89% dalam Y is explained by X and Y. Okay, that is what it means by R square. Atau satu lagi cara ialah, look back here, if we say R equals to negative 0.62, R square equals to, kalau soalan R square equals to 38%, okay, it means 38% of the variation in Y is explained by the variation in X. Maksud setiap 38% of data of Y is explained by X sebanyak 38%. Okay, the variation of X is explained. Sorry, the variation of 38% of the variation here is explained by this one here. That's maksudnya. All right. So now you have two things you have already learned. You have learned R, which is correlation. R square is the coefficient pula. So when people ask you, what is R? So R maksudnya relationship between X and Y. What is R square? R square ialah peratus perubahan dia. The variation between X and Y. What is the percentage change? That means how much of losing weight, berapa peratus losing weight itu is determined by exercise itu. How much of losing weight? Let's say you lose weight sebanyak 10 kilos. So daripada 10 kilo ini, berapa peratus daripada 10 kilo itu berasal daripada exercise? That is what we want to know. Sebab kita kata losing weight itu datang daripada 3 atau datang daripada 4. Satu exercise, satu ni. So we want to find out daripada banyak-banyak ni, siapa yang paling banyak contribute? Or how much has exercise contributed? So exercise has contributed this amount. Food has contributed this amount. Yeah, question. Question pula. Oh, tak ada orang masuk. Okay, so we want to find out what is the relationship, what is the percentage between X and Y. Okay. Senyap bagi situ.
Ada.
Alright, so two things you have already learned. Correlation, R, and coefficient, R kuasa 2. R square. Okay. So, this is the summary. Hari ni very short, setengah jam dah habis dah. Okay. So, where are we? So, hari tu kita dah buat univariate. Okay, betul, kita dah buat univariate. So kita dah belajar semua ni. These are the methods or techniques used to analyze univariate under descriptive statistics. But sebelum tu, descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So bila saya kata hypothesis testing, you are doing inferential. You're doing inferential. You want to find out what is going on, what is there about this data. But okay, when you do bivariant analysis, ini semua you can do it under descriptive pun boleh atau inferential pun boleh. Data ini boleh dibawa masuk ke sini. Okay, so univariant we are looking at one data, bivariant we are looking at two data. Correlation, covariance. Okay, so correlation is what is the relationship between X and Y. Coefficient ialah what is the percentage. Covariant ialah what is the variant change. Adakah yang ini naik atau yang ini, adakah yang ini naik dan yang ini turun, ataukah yang ini naik sekali, atau macam mana. Variance itu bermaksud perubahan. Okay, variance you can get it from your R tadilah. So kita ada R yang negatif, R yang positif. So it's a positive relationship or a negative relationship. When we talk about next week, we are talking about multivariate. So dah nama pun multi bermaksud lebih daripada dua. Lebih daripada dua variable lah. Okay, that will do next week. Okay, so for today, kelas pun nak dekat habis. Very short. What have we learned? Sekejap, saya akan jawab soalan tu. What have we learned? We have learned about correlation, which is R. We have learned about coefficient, R kuasa 2. Okay, and we have learned about what are the techniques used to analyze bivariate, depending on the measurement scale that you take. Kalau ordinal, inilah dia. Kalau nominal, inilah dia. Kalau interval, inilah dia. Okay, soalan.
Doktor, nak tanya. Kan tadi kita kata untuk coefficient tu kan, variation between X dengan Y. Okay. Kalau maksud dia, kalau kita kata tadi, katalah diet lah kita kata tadi kan. Sebab turun berat badan, satu disebabkan diet katalah. Lepas tu katalah ada 4 variables kan. So maksud dia kalau kita kata, bila kita buat test tu, maksudnya katalah kita ada 4 variables, maknanya bila kita tambah 4 variables tu keluar 1.0 ke? Jawapan dia kan kita dapat 0.38.
Ya. Semuanya R tu ialah hasil tambah semua lah, betul lah tu.
Maknanya correct. R sama dengan 1.0 lah. Kita mesti dapat yang tu.
Yes, correct.
Alright, terima kasih.
So, daripada diet, sebab ini semua let's say lah, diet, lepas tu variable X, Y semua. Okay, yang ini semua menyebabkan losing weight. Alright. So, what is the percentage of R? So, kita nak tahu what is R. Which one contributes the highest? So, we want to know that as well. Which one contributes the highest? So, kita nak tahu how much of diet contributes pula. So, we want to know that. So, R ialah dia punya relationship. R will give you a value. So, maksud dia diet, okay, kita pakai exercise lah. Exercise and losing weight. So, kita ada exercise, kita ada food, and kita ada puasa. So, this is my independent variable. Okay, and my dependent variable ialah losing weight. Okay, so we will get an R for exercise, we will get an R for food, for food, and we'll get R for puasa. So hasil tambah ketiga-tiga R ni membawa kepada 1.0. So, alright. Tetapi bila saya run test ini, I find that the highest R value ialah pada puasa, katakan 0.7. Yang lain semua kosong sikit lah. 0.2, 0.1. This means R ini, okay, puasa is having a high positive relationship between losing weight. And then daripada sini kita kira kita punya R puasa 2. We want to find out what is the variation pula. Berapa peratus kah perubahan di antara puasa dengan losing weight. Okay, berapa dia? Puasa and losing weight. Okay, so sorry today, hari ni kita kena berhenti awal sebab saya ada benda lain nak buat sikit. Tapi hari ni memang Bivariant tu is a very short chapter je. Okay, but what you must understand is slide number 8. This is very important because nanti kalau sebab semua test ni mana tadi? This one. Semua ni coefficient ni gives you the same answer. Sorry, maksudnya dia kira R juga. Pearson pun kira R, Spearman pun kira R, field coefficient pun kira R. Tetapi it based on your scale. So you cannot tell your friend next door kenapa you tak buat Pearson. Sedangkan dia pakai data, dia punya scale ialah ordinal. And he cannot tell you kenapa you tak pakai kenapa you tak pakai Spearman. Sebab berbeza. Walaupun dua-dua buat correlation, tapi it's different. So you have to understand what measurement skills are you using so that you can do your bivariate analysis. Okay, that is very important. Sebab ingat, let's say kalau you tersilap, you buat juga Pearson correlation, walaupun data you ordinal, boleh, tak ada masalah. SPSS akan terima, tetapi your data will be wrong. Okay, data you silap. Jawapan akan tetap, you akan tetap dapat jawapan juga. But it's wrong lah. Okay, bukan tetap dapat jawapan. Okay, alright. Any questions so far for today? Adakah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan berada di situ?
Ada, tak ada dah soalan.
Doktor.
Yes,
tu,
Anas ke? Yes.
Okay. Slide doktor tu yang doktor beri dekat dalam WhatsApp tu tak sama.
Lain
Lain.
Slide lain yang ni lain.
Yang doktor send in WhatsApp group tu dengan yang lecture hari ni lain.
Layan tak apa
dia bivariate juga, tak cuma dia dah bincang mana pula ni.
Kita ada independent.
Betul. Yang ni dia dah bivariate analysis relationship between variables and measures of association. Handout 9.
Apa dia bagi awak ni? Sekejap saya tengok WhatsApp tu.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
What did I give you? Ajaran sesat ni. Bivariate analysis, saya bagi kompak senang tadi kan?
Yes.
Ini memang silat namanya. Ya betul. Ini memang silat. Ini namanya daripada internet. Memang tak ada kaitan langsung. Dia tak ada gambar, tak ada color-color kan?
Tak ada. Yes.
Sorry bang.
Okay, it's okay, doctor. Thank you.
This one is bivariate analysis, betul lah. Tapi this is very high level. Ini untuk statistik. Kalau you ambil diploma in stats, degree in stats, memang you pakai macam ni lah. Memang nak fahamkan pun susah. Yang ini saya dah simplifykan dia. Very, very simple. So sorry. Saya akan bagi sekarang juga. Mana saya save, saya akan cari.
Thank you, doktor.
Baik you cakap. Waduh. Jangan. Okay, dapat?
Dapat.
This is the, ini ajaran betul. Satu lagi, ini buku, tadi saya nak bagi tapi mungkin dia, okay, the next one which I'm giving you is SPSS Julia Palen punya buku. Ini buku version 4. Okay, version 4. Tapi sekarang ni saya rasa dah sampai version 9. But you still can use this version 4 lah. Tapi jika ada rezeki lebih, saya amat cadangkan beli terus buku ini atau pinjam daripada library. I'm sure dia ada version 9. Sebab dia ada dia punya bukan software, data set dia yang you boleh main-main, you boleh test. Okay, but you can see this book is very good. It's written in plain English untuk kita yang Malaysian English ni senang nak faham. Dapat buku tu, saya forward ke WhatsApp.
Dah dapat.
This is a very good book. I suggest you can use this book, ini version 4, edition 4, but I suggest you get the edition 9. It's even better. This is only on SPSS saja. It's a very good book. Highly recommended for people who have almost no basic macam kita semua. So it's good for you to get it, and kalau tak, you pergi library kita, I'm sure ada, buat pinjaman jangka masa panjang lah. Memang bagus buku ni. Saya amat cadangkan you beli buku ni kalau boleh. Okay, is there any other questions?
Doktor, saya check yang buku tu yang tahun 2020 baru versi 7 edition.
7? Oh. Oh, tak ada 9. I thought I saw it 9. Dia tak tahu. Okay lah, maybe.
Nanti saya semak balik.
Dia buku ni banyak dipakai, budak-budak diploma stats pakai buku ni. Memang they are required to buy pun. Buku ni dia seriously is a very good book for us beginners. Memang dia explain step by step, and kalau kita beli dia ada CD dalam tu, so you can use that CD. Dalam tu ada data, trial data, so you boleh test, and you can run the instruction one by one semualah. Dia ada instruction dia one by one, so kita boleh follow step by step process. It's very good. Okay, masih bernyawa di sana?
Ya.
Masih.
Yeah.
Alright. So any more questions before we have to end early today? Saya ada beberapa kerja sedikit, and saya tahu awak pun ada beberapa kerja sedikit. Saya rasa Anas sibuk ke Anas?
Boleh lah.
Tahu Anas tu sibuk. Itulah, Anas tu sibuk juga. So itulah, demi menjaga hati Anas, so maka kita buat.
Anas ni.
Agak cerita tu.
Okay, but this is Bivariate is very, very short. Seriously, it's very short. But what you need to understand is the correlation and coefficient. Benda ni akan berterusan sampai bila-bila. Okay?
Okay, doktor.
Alright, thank you so much for
Terima
class
kasih
today.
banyak.
InsyaAllah I will see you again selepas cuti semester. Awak,
InsyaAllah.
kita bagi student cuti, kita pun cuti juga.
Ya.
Ya, betul.
Terima kasih banyak.
Thank you so much. Please
Terima kasih, doktor.
and insyaAllah I will see you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Wabarakatuh.